You want to talk plants? Early May, here at the Pacific Rim Institute, together with miner's lettuce, Claytonia perfoliata, family Montiaceae or Montiaceae, cousins, Claytonia sibirica here in the Pacific Northwest, or Siberian miner's lettuce, and farther east, Claytonia virginica, spring beauty, named in honor of John Clayton, Virginian colonist botanist. Claytonia perfoliata is an annual herbaceous plant that starts blooming as early as February and can go on till May, depending on altitude and latitude. And its native range is on coastal and upland western North America, from Alaska, central British Columbia, and all the way south to California, and even farther south to Central America. Its basal leaves have a more or less triangular rhomboidal shape with a very long petiole, and they form a very nice rosette. When it's ready to bloom, its upper leaves are fused, creating this appearance of Elizabethan color surrounding the raceme of several small white to pink flowers. The peduncle of the raceme, the inflorescence, could be very short or almost inexistent to several centimeters or a couple of inches long. These fused leaves subtending the inflorescence is what gives its specific epithet of perfoliata. It looks like the stem perforated or perfoliated the leaves. Miner's lettuce name comes from the fact that during the California gold rush, miners were using them in spring to prevent scurvy, as it does provide vitamin C. The whole plant is edible but the roots, and it makes an excellent trail snack. With a light vinaigrette of apple cider vinegar and some good oil, it's delicious. Even though it's not related to lettuce, which is in the Asteraceae or composite plant family. But otherwise, it does have oxalates, the salts of oxalic acid, which are not good for your health, being a nephrotoxin. Luckily, you cannot eat too much of it. First, you might not be so lucky to find this abundant patch that grows so much better here in the shade. If you look at my right, it's actually much smaller in the sun. It does prefer the shady areas. If you do live in the western North America, I strongly encourage you to forage it or even maybe plant it. It does produce numerous black seeds and they grow in dense populations. As I said, much more luscious in the shade. But I don't recommend growing it elsewhere in North America or elsewhere. It might not be invasive, but why push it? We have other native plants in other locations. So even though I don't recommend you growing it in other places where it's not native to, if you are in the western side of the Western Hemisphere, you might want to try some of this miner's lettuce. Even though relatively bland tasting, it makes a great trail snack. Wow, what am I talking about? This is really good.